Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We have an article here from Ukraine and they report destroying some Russian positions. So let's see what we got here. This article comes from Ukrinform and it comes from the 14th of September 2022. The title is Ukrainian troops destroy enemy's ammo depot in south. On September 14, the missile and artillery units of the armed forces of Ukraine struck the columns of enemy equipment, the Kakhovka Bridge, a pontoon crossing, as well as enemy equipment clusters in the area of Hola, Pristan and Duchan in the south of Ukraine. Our missile and artillery units continue to perform fire missions, in particular striking the columns of enemy equipment, the Kakhovka Bridge, and the pontoon crossing near the Antonivka Bridge. The enemy forces and equipment clusters near Hola, Hola, Pristan and Duchan, as well as an ammunition depot were hit. Vladislav Nazarov, spokesman of the Operation Command South, posted on Telegram. According to preliminary confirmed data, the enemy lost 27 servicemen and 2 vehicles. An airborne assault vehicle was mobilized from the position of enemy troops to one of the Ukrainian units. The remaining losses of the enemy are specified. As reported over the past 24 hours, the missile and artillery units of the armed forces of Ukraine performed more than 430 fire missions and eliminated 121 Russian soldiers, 5 tanks, 9 armored vehicles of other types, 3 M-STAB howitzers, 2 Gvozdika self-propelled howitzers, 2 Pantsir S-1 anti-aircraft missile and artillery systems, a command and staff vehicle, and a radio electronic warfare station in the southern region of Ukraine. How can you have such accurate reports? How is that really possible? And then I failed to find the articles, any articles actually, where the Ukrainian army caused casualties among civilians. Not that that doesn't exist, but it's zero casualties. And if you read the articles, the Ukrainian articles, obviously you're going to find that the Russians are hitting civilian targets in a proportion of about 98%. So 98% of the articles, so let's say I have 100 articles that I'm looking over, 98 of them mention only civilians. Whenever the Russians are hitting, anybody, is just civilians. Children, schools, old people and all that, parks and what else. And then maybe they mention, as I said, they destroyed some ammunitions, or they destroyed some military target, but it's rare. It's maybe 2%, as I said, which we know it's an impossibility. And but they want to create a narrative, and I understand that. The thing is, I've been obviously looking over articles left and right, middle, north and south, east, west, and so on, to find, read them and look over to see how reality, how actions, how facts, things happen over there, obviously. How are they reported? And I observed this thing, I noticed this thing, that the Ukrainian side and the Ukrainian side will have 99%, 100% no guilt of anything. They do no harm. Nothing. I never heard them by mistake destroying something that was not supposed to be destroyed. Well, that's a big lie. It can't be like that. Actually, it's a very flimsy lie if you look at it. That's one thing. The other one, when you hear arrests, that state arrests in Ukraine, they're all collaborators. When they dismiss certain officials for collaborating, none of them is just political. Everything is just collaboration. It's just because of they collaborated with the Russians or something. Again, that's impossible. Unless you think that government is perfect, which I don't have to talk about it, right? So that's one thing. You don't hear of any mistakes. You don't hear of Ukraine military command making mistakes, like saying, well, we lost this one. Well, we lost this one. Maybe we made a bad decision here. Maybe we just, dismissed this person because it was not the right person for the right place. No, they say collaborator. On the other hand, I looked over the Russians. But this is not reported by the Russians. Some are, but some are reported by the Western corporate media. And they are not as bad as Ukraine media, like 100% they're perfect over there. No, they comment sometimes, let's say in 80% it's the Russians always bad, and 20% the Ukrainians make mistakes, but something very mild. Okay? But then I listened to the Russians, what they say about their advances or their losses and so on. Aside from the fact that they do not provide their losses, they tell you that they have no problem telling you that their military command in east over there, Ukraine, they screwed up and they are removed because of that. They don't say that we retreated because, I don't know, we just decided to go and move a little bit to the east. No, they tell we retreated. We retreated. We were overwhelmed by the Ukrainian firepower and advancement. They can lie. They can just say, ignore the news, or just say no, that's not a lie. It's not true. It's just actually we are on the same positions. How are you going to prove that with 2 videos with people shooting? How are you going to prove that? Especially when you don't leave the information, let's say, trickle down to your population. So I found the Russians actually criticizing themselves and seeing dissent in Russia and no dissent whatsoever in Ukraine. Zero. They're all united 100%. That's an impossibility again. And again, over there, how come that dictator, Putin, and his strong, grip on that, he allows people to criticize him? I thought that he's just going to hang them all or poison them. Isn't that maybe on the other side where nobody dares to do that? Because I don't believe there's nobody saying we're making some mistakes here. I think they zip it so they don't hang it, But it's just an observation. So when I hear this, they hit one radar system, they hit 3 cars or 3 this or that depot or 121 and a half Russians killed. Really? You're here, those guys are over there. You launch missiles or whatever, mortar rockets over there. How do you know how many died over there? How can you know? Only if the Russians are counting their guys and saying, hey Ivan, 121 and a half died. Okay, and the Ukrainians are hooked to that. Oh, okay, hey guys, 121 and a half died over there. Otherwise, how can you, it's all approximation. Is that, there's some targets, hit them. You don't know actually how many you hit. How can you know how many people you hit? How? Unless you just, the Russians count it and they communicate all that and you get it. You say satellite, that could be one, but that means like someone is staying over there and waiting to see. They are, but it's, what I'm trying to say is that I don't believe the Russians or the Ukrainians when they tell me about the losses on the other side and their achievements. I go about, when it's about losses, they lie 80%. So if they say, well, we lost 100 people, that means they lost about 800 people. If they say, well, we killed 100 Russians, then that means they might have killed 20 Russians. So their victories are always 8 times exaggerated and their losses 8 times minimized. That's how I came to see. How do I verify that? By the numbers they provide us. By the numbers they provide us and their advancements and all that. You just get to that by comparing and by being attentive, looking at these things, observing them and taking notes. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth and be just.